Today's video revolves all around my biggest mistake in this renovation, these cabinets right here. A couple of months ago, I put out a video expanding the kitchen where I got these cabinets from Home Depot. They were unfinished, so I applied a couple of coats of polyurethane before I attached them to the wall. At this point in time, I thought these new cabinets would blend with the old ones, but man, was I wrong. As soon as I was applying finish to this drawer face, I knew that this just wasn't gonna work out. The color became way more red, and besides that, the cabinet box is a little bit shorter. I think this wood is beech rather than the hickory that the original cabinets are made of. And even though these are kind of a close match, it's definitely not 1-800-SUPER-PRO to keep these up. I know that I can do better. So then I released the install video titled, My Biggest Mistake. And I was totally shocked down in the comments to see people saying that I could literally pick up the cabinets that I need in-store at Lowe's. I honestly didn't know the last time I had been in a Lowe's. I'm more of a Home Depot guy, as y'all know, but I needed some silicone caulk for the tub and shower refinishing project that I put out last episode. And while I'm here, I'm gonna check and see what kind of cabinets they do have in stock. Like I said, I looked online, but the comments keep saying in-store they have what I need. All right, see, these are the same ones. These are the same ones I saw online. And it was that moment when I really couldn't even believe my eyes. I can't believe it. They do have them. I was both incredibly relieved, and I also felt like a complete idiot. I mean, seriously, how did I not just go into Lowe's and check? I wasted so much time buying, finishing, and installing cabinets that I'm not gonna use. And then it dawned on me why I didn't see these on Lowe's website, and it's because I was looking for unfinished cabinets. I assumed that when the previous owners installed these cabinets, they bought unfinished cabinets, put clear coat on them, and then installed them. And so obviously, whenever I searched unfinished cabinets, I didn't see the ones that I needed. I loaded up all of the cabinets onto a flatbed. It'd be nice if they had a bigger viewing window. And I realized that they didn't have a 24-inch wide pantry like the one that I was gonna replace to fit with the fridge I want to use. But I could do a 24-inch base and then a 24-inch upper with a small counter next to the fridge. There's already a ton of cabinet storage in here, so maybe the extra countertop space will be convenient. This whole mistake cost around $1,300. Even though some of the cabinets aren't going to waste, I'll use them in the laundry room area that we're setting up in the garage. I'm just glad that this whole cabinet situation has been solved. So now let's get these back to the renovation. We'll swap out the old cabinets and put these in. I'm gonna get these opened up. I'm gonna see what the grain looks like since there's just this small viewing window in the cardboard. Right away, I was hyped to see that this is gonna be a great match. They're the same product with the same profile and veneer. That looks awesome. Except for this small cabinet right here. That looks terrible. This one looks really bad. I'm not sure how well this is translating on camera, but the grain right here is straight up gray, and it does not look good. I think I'm gonna have to exchange it, but let's get the others open. This is a new lower cabinet that'll go next to the fridge. Looks pretty good. This drawer face has quite a bit of contrast, but I think we're good. I think it'll even out with UV exposure. Oh, this one looks really nice. I love it. In the spirit of doing this 1-800-SUPER-PRO, I'm gonna take this cabinet back to Lowe's and exchange it for one that's just better looking. All right, we're really gonna see if we can look at that grain. I just ended up taking all three of the cabinets that they had in stock out of the boxes and checked to see whether the grain on the face frame and the doors looked decent. I kind of felt bad opening all three up, but I had to see what they looked like. All right, cabinets, check. Once I got back to the house, I unscrewed the two base cabinets and I got rid of the one that we'll be using in the garage for laundry. Then I scooted the original base cabinet to the inside so that I could put the new one with the new veneer on the end. The previous cabinet had a different height spacer to get it as even as I could, but now I could have the same 3/4 inch spacer across all of my platform. With my blocking in, I could now throw the cabinets in place and see how it was all gonna look. This was a completely different but good feeling compared to what I had last time I was installing the cabinets. This looks way better, such a huge improvement. These two cabinets were originally screwed together, so I just put the same screws in the same previous locations, and it worked great. After that, I used my drill bit to pre-drill all of the new screw locations, that way I made sure not to split the face frame. And that's Peninsula complete. That new veneer on the end, super fresh. At this point in the day, I gave my dad a call and I asked him to come over and give me a hand installing the upper cabinets. And while I waited for him to drive over, I uninstalled the ones that we had put up a little while back. I had one screw shear off, but I got it out with some pliers. Everybody give a big welcome back to my dad for another cameo. He helped out by basically holding the cabinet in place. Then I made sure everything was level before screwing it into the studs behind the drywall, and then making sure to screw the two face frames of the adjoining cabinets together. See, beautiful. Actually looks great now. Sweet. I was just guessing on that stud. I was like, that's about 16 inches, but I'm glad we got it. And now we're gonna have to shim out this corner a little bit. That way it's flush with the new cabinet box. I only shimmed the bottom of this cabinet out maybe 1/4 of an inch, probably about 1/8. But it got the face frame lined up with the longer cabinet, just like on the other side. I've realized you've gotta make sure you start square and level, but you've always gotta be ready to make small adjustments because every wall isn't necessarily perfect. So you just need to make sure to work with what you've got. We're officially halfway done with cabinet install round 2, and we're looking good. And before we move on, I want to give a big thanks to the sponsor of today's episode, Squarespace. If you need a website, online store, or just a custom domain, Squarespace is your one-stop shop. And the best part is you need zero website building experience. And now, with Fluid Engine, designing your own website has never been easier, thanks to their enhanced drag and drop technology on both desktop and mobile. There's also no limits to the number of products that you can sell using a Squarespace store, whether that's a physical good, a digital good, or a service product. And if you're somebody that wants to take payments in person, Squarespace has got you covered. By connecting the Square card reader to the Squarespace app, all of your sales, inventory, and accounting are up to speed online and in person. So to learn more, make sure and follow my link down in the description, squarespace.com/modernbuilds. And then when it's time to make your website live, don't forget to use my code modernbuilds for 10% off your first site, store, or domain through Squarespace. As always, thanks Squarespace for sponsoring this video, and you all for watching this video. Now let's keep fixing this cabinet mistake. Instead of a tall pantry cabinet, we're going with a lower base cabinet and then an upper above it with a countertop next to the refrigerator. This might be more convenient, it might be less, but it's time to install it. First, I made sure it was level, and then I sank screws into the studs on both sides of the cabinet. The original cabinet that went above the oven in range is gonna go next to this new upper cabinet. It's gonna go above the refrigerator. We switched to a 30-inch cabinet above the range. It's funny, you can see the color difference between the UV exposed older cabinets and the newer ones that haven't seen any sun yet. They'll eventually look the same. It's great being able to reuse this cabinet, and it's a lot of storage in this kitchen. Sweet! Cabinets complete. I imagine this reveal is gonna be a little more dramatic if we check out the befores and then the afters, so let's do that. When we bought this place, the first thing we did was open it up, put a beam in, and expand the storage. But unfortunately, the cabinets we used to do it just looked, well, terrible. But now, let's check out the... We've come a long way. This kitchen is already looking way better, super modern, and the storage is off the chain, especially around this fridge. And it's so great that everything matches. Overall, I'm just happy with how it looks now compared to before. Whether we sell the house or rent it, this is the smart option. I just wish I did it sooner. Whether we end up renting or selling the house, doing this was the right move. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little bit bummed that I couldn't get as many videos as I imagined out of this process. It's honestly just been a whole lot more off-camera work than I ever imagined. Building or renovating already takes up a lot of time, but filming and editing makes it take longer. But what I've learned about renovations is there's a lot of work that we've got to do that you guys don't see, or I just haven't figured out how to make good content out of. Things like running all new PEX line and drains underneath the house, and also reconfiguring what we've got. We're also moving this electrical panel to the side of the house. That way this whole area can effectively be turned into a shower. We also took out the old water heater and replaced it with a new tankless unit. As a matter of fact, big shout out to my dad for taking out that whole cabinet in the corner. But it's looking good. We just gotta have the plumber come out one more time, and I'll have to give him a hand running that exhaust vent through the roof. Progress is going good, it's just not the most exciting content. At least to me, it doesn't seem like it would be. I guess I'm bringing this up because I want to say I appreciate everyone that's following along through this process. This renovation journey hasn't been easy, and documenting it has been tough. It's nothing that I can't handle, but definitely something that I wasn't expecting. In all honesty, I thought this renovation would take 6 months, and I'm already up to 9. And I know some of these topics might not be the most interesting to you all, considering a lot of you guys found me through DIY projects like coffee tables, beds, sofas, and a lot of other things. But I promise I'm doing my best to make good content, and I've got more filmed ready to go. I wanted to film as much as I could before I got cold, so I'll get those videos edited and released as soon as possible. At the end of the day though, I think all this work is gonna be worth it. Me and my parents invested 50-50 on this property, and if we sell it now, I think we're already up a lot compared to what we paid for it. And if we end up keeping it for a long-term or short-term rental, the market here in Oklahoma City or Midwest City is really hot. Rentals are pretty hard to find, and rates really just keep going up. So with that being said, I just gotta keep my head down, keep working, and make good videos for you all. As always, thanks a ton for the support, and we'll see you next time on Mike's First Flip. Bye, everybody.
It's Mike's First Flip.